omoplata position. So let's do another transition. For the guys that have been here in the club a wee while, you've probably done this at some stage. Probably just me and Clara. So last time we looked at double sleeve control. This time I'm going to play collar and sleeve. So my left hand's grabbing the sleeve. That's a hook grip. 4 fingers on the outside. I'm going to sit up, grab Carl's collar on the same side as the wrist grab. Okay. That's the same stuff. I'm going to open my legs. I escape my hip. I use the contact of my legs and Carl's hips. Turn onto my left side and I bring my knees to my chest. Okay, so from here, I'm going to turn onto my left hip and I take my right foot and I'm going to place it on Carl's left bicep. And it's just about playing this game. You know, Carl's going to get inside control, and when he does, I'll swim my foot back inside and find that bicep again. He goes again. But you can only go 2 ways. So if he comes under my leg, I swim my foot back under. The other thing is, I don't want Carl keeping his shoulders square like this. I'm going to push one shoulder back. So when he tries to re-swim in there, it's a little bit more difficult. I'm constantly putting him under pressure. So I'm messing with his line. Sometimes I don't want the shoulder square. The other way he can come over is over, but if he does, I just find the shoulder and then I come back to the bicep. So even that skill alone, you should really be playing that for 5 minutes. But you can do that in your own time. So why am I putting my foot here? Because I want an open elbow. It's very hard to get an omoplata on people if Carl was inside my closed guard with his elbows back like this. We want to create an opening. So back to the collar and sleeve position. So when I'm here, I'm on my left hip. My shin is made a wedge against Carl's right bicep here. So when I start to pull my left hand towards my pocket, I've got his right elbow a little bit away from his right hip. I'm on my left hip, and watch what happens when I change my angle, and I turn from my left hip to my right hip. Even if Charles trying to pull his elbow back as far as he can, the minute I turn, look at his elbows just coming away from his body. Now we're just into what we were doing on Tuesday. From there, pulling on the collar, the minute I kick my leg through, Charles' posture is breaking. Foot goes in the hip, knees come together. The minute I pinch my knees, I'm stuffing this to get the bend in the arm. And then from there, it's the same stuff. I let go of the sleeve, find the elbow, and just kick that over and build the base. So my head is coming up and I'm on my elbow here. Okay? We'll just finish it as we did on Tuesday, so we're not confusing things. So from that position, it's all about straightening my legs, getting my head in front of my hips, and then finding something underneath his left armpit, curling my feet back. And then we talked about how I want to lift my hip and put pressure in Carl's shoulder with me curling back my left toes and actually putting my toes on the mat. And then from there, I bring my thigh under his elbow here. Okay? Now from this position, I want to get Carl's wrist off his back, so I'll kind of walk backwards a little bit, and then I'm just leaning forward to get the omoplata. It's the same finish as we did on Tuesday. We want to hit as many reps as we can. The setup's a little different. So from closed guard, I have sleeve control and collar control. Then I break Carl's posture down by pulling on my knees. From there, I open my guard. I can put a foot on the mat or a foot on Carl's hip. Hip out. Bring my knees inside, but I stay on my left hip and my right foot finds the bicep. And again, I'm pushing with that foot so Carl's shoulders aren't in line. Again, it'll be the bottom. Carl's having inside control. I'll be swimming inside, trying to constantly push that foot slide. I'm also pulling his right elbow away from his body. And then when the moment's right and he's so fixated on trying to get inside control, I just turn onto my other hip. And that just gives me that much more getting his elbow away from his body. Now if you see the position Carl's right elbow's in, I'm just going to kick that leg through. His posture's broken. I put my foot on the hip, knees pinching, I'm stuffing this into his pocket. There's a bend in the arm. Immediately I find the elbow and I just kick over and get my head higher than his, building a base. The legs come out, switch grips, find this, and now from there I'm curling my legs back, but now we want to put tension in that shoulder. So I lift my hips, this one comes back and I'm curling that all the way back, so I'm on the ball of my foot.
Now I want something else under that elbow, so I lift it and I put my thigh there, so I'm here. Okay. So I've actually got my knee in the back of my calf. I lift my hips again so that his wrist is not caught on the back of his gi and there's no friction stopping that. And now, instead of coming this way, which is traditionally taught, I just bring my head forward. There's a lot less movement in that, where if you think about how the Omoplata is traditionally taught, you stay on your knees. I'd have to come, look how far I'd have to come to get this on Cara. There's no tension in his arm at all. His arm's wet noodle and the Cara's really flexible. So again, one more time on that. So he could be making his grips, doesn't really matter. I find the sleeve, find the collar, open my guard, hip hard, get into my collar and sleeve game. Again, pushing on that shoulder, messing with his alignment. He's trying to get that back, and in the whole process, I turn my hip, kick that through. What comes in the hip pinch, stuff this, find the elbow, kick over, straighten my legs, get my head in front of my hips, switch, find this, and then curling back. Okay, so I sit up, curl this one back, and go on the ball of my foot, reinforce it with my other thigh underneath the elbow. See them on the balls of my feet. Lift my hips so the wrist isn't on his back, and then I just come forward. You can't see this visually, it's invisible, but Carl can feel it. There is tension in his arm. His arm is loose. Just lock in here.